What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Box Office Banter. You like that? Okay.
I do.
We are, of course, talking about Se7en today, and this is one of my personal favorites, so it could get downright violent up in here. Violent. Okay, maybe not that serious, but I'm going to jump right into it because, you know, this is one of my favorite flicks. Okay, for Se7en, man, my God, immediately there is a dark, intense, dreary atmosphere that just drapes over the film. Like, I fucking love that this movie is always raining. It just rains and rains and rains and rains, and it never lets up. Fucking adore that.
I agree, dude.
It's just something else. Another little tidbit is they never really say where it is, like the city they're in.
Yeah.
You just know that people hate it there. Like, everybody wants out. But they never really say this is... I don't know what's going on. They never say this is
Me neither.
New York City or Chicago or something. It's just kind of alluded.
Let's just say they're in Baltimore.
Well, that would make sense.
They're in Baltimore.
Baltimore, yes.
But I like that how they didn't say this is New York City or whatever. They left that kind of mystery to it, to where it was.
Yeah, 100%. Are you on your phone right now? I'm just glad. You looking up the city? Is that what we're doing right now?
I don't think I didn't say.
Okay, we should have discussed this before the show. Anyways, Mills and Somerset, though. Yeah. Mills and Somerset, though, dude, are total opposites. That's something I love about this, but they're somehow, some way perfect for each other. And it's hard to quantify why exactly, but they just play off each other so damn well in this movie. And, dude, I immediately get a vibe that Somerset is tired, dude. He's seen enough. He's been through it all. It's just draped all over his face, kind of like another Brad Pitt movie we just talked about in Fury. There's just something to it. You got the answer over there?
No city, right?
It says taking place in a nameless city.
Yep. They did that on purpose.
Okay, so you
To
actually
add it kinda
did you
like
actually look it up?
No, but
But
like I immediately when it was when Somerset and Mills, he was telling him like you went through trouble to get transferred here. He was like, why would you do? And I was like, what city are they in? I immediately started thinking what city. So I was looking, because that happened at the beginning of the movie.
Just never seen anything like that before.
So the whole movie I was trying to figure out what city they were in, and I never found anything. And I think that was done intentionally to kind of add that mystique to the whole movie or something.
Typical David Fincher.
Yeah, dude, he's so fucking great. And even the opening credits, dude, those old school opening credits.
Yes.
You know when you get those opening credits where it's not just, you know, the people walk around the city with the names popping up. It's just like a bunch of paperwork kind of like this flipping through with eerie music. It's got like that You Want to Closer, you know, of course the You Want to Fuck Me Like an Animal song by 9 Inch Nails. It has that little tidbit put in there like you get me closer to God. Like that whole opening is perfection. Did you like that? Anyways, let's hear you sing, dude. Yeah. And dude, how about like Paltrow and Pitt's relationship, man? They don't really put it on Front Street to the point where it's just all up in your face, but they do the best job imaginable at just making you believe, whether it's just in the high school sweethearts thing, whatever it is that they do with the different lines, they really sell you on it without showing you the sappy parts. You know, they show you the in-between shit that they love the hell out of each other, and you'll find out why if you haven't seen this and don't care about spoilers, why that is so crucial at a point.
Does anyone actually care for Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yes.
She's an amazing actress.
Like,
What
you
are
talking
you
about in
talking
general or in this movie? In this movie, I'm
I don't
guessing.
know. She was one of them people. Never mind.
You gotta say it now.
No, I heard a story about her, and she was like, people that eat cheese out of a can are poor or some shit like that.
Yeah, I heard something about that too.
I
She
was
was
like,
like
what's wrong
vegan.
with-
She was not vegan. She
don't
was
know.
no, what the fuck is the word? What's a lactose? Not lactose. Damn it.
Gluten-free.
Glucose. Is it glucose?
Gluten-free.
Gluten free. That's what the fuck it was. I didn't know what the hell I'm saying. Gluten. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she
once
was-
knew somebody
She was
that
like
was
a.
gluten-free.
I think it was. Yeah, dude.
once
They've
did,
been
you
free
don't know
ever
them
since.
anymore?
No, they eat
That's
gluten.
why we don't do that. No.
She's a good actress. I don't know. I don't think I would like her in real life.
Yeah.
Supposedly she's real snobby in
Yeah,
real
that's
life.
what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah, that's what I heard. I heard there was something remarks she made about being gluten free, and
I
how
met
she's
her at a
above
Texas
people.
Roadhouse
Could
one
be
time,
wrong.
and she was very rude.
I can imagine.
Dude.
Where are we now?
How about the dialogue in this movie, dude? The lines, dude, are just off the fucking charts in this movie. Like, literally, it seems like every single thing. I'm not going to say anything specific right now. I'm going to save it for when those scenes come up. But there's so many just basic lines where they're talking that just fucking grabs you and pulls you in. Just the way they're delivered and how they're wrote out. It is perfection. I mean, dude, the movie is a masterclass on what you don't see is what scares you. It is so good at that. It doesn't show you any of the shit that plays out. It lets you see it for yourself, like the after effect, and you kind of put together the pieces with the detectives. And it might not even be on that one setting. Maybe they'll go back to the office and they'll come back, and then there it is. There's what everything you're like, oh, I had my suspicions for this, but then it worked out like this. There's so much of that in this movie that's executed so well.
Have we talked about the first death?
Nope, that's what I was gonna get into.
Yeah, the first death, the fat guy dies from being fed too much.
Gluttony, son.
It depends on what he was eating, because that doesn't sound like a bad way to go.
Yeah, the scatty, bro.
The spaghetti?
I'm pretty positive.
Didn't he have barbed wire around his ankles?
He's like tied down.
Tied down with barbed wire.
Well, I mean, if it was spaghetti, I'd be pretty pissed.
Because all those tomato sauce cans were
can you
on the
imagine?
shelf.
You know that feeling after you had like 3 plates of spaghetti, dude, and you feel like you're about to spaghetti. No, and you feel like you're about to throw up, and you're like, why did I do that? Imagine just fucking having to shovel it down your throat for hours.
Spaghetti.
But if
yeah.
you didn't know what this movie was about and you just started watching it and you saw that first death scene, you're like, what the hell is this movie going to be about? Like, what is going to go on here? And then you see the second person, and then, what's his name? Somerset starts putting it together.
Oh, my God. I love how Mills is just talking shit, and he's just like, can you please be quiet? Like, just the way he's just like Mills is one way, Somerset's the other way, all about his business, dude.
Yeah.
Got the glasses on and everything.
Something I liked with the first death, because all the deaths, there's something that is the same with them, which is one of the 7 deadly sins is spelled somewhere. But that first death, you don't immediately see that.
No.
You see it with the second death first, and then Somerset went back and found the plastic that was carved out on the floor and moved the fridge, and then you find that first word, but you found the first word second. I like how they kind of hit it and didn't initially come out and hit you in the face with this is the pattern we're going.
Exactly.
They kind of hit it for a little bit.
It's this movie's masterful in the slow build with just everything it does, and that's what I love about it so much. And I love how Somerset just doesn't give a shit about Mills' resume. Like, he was just telling him, go outside. Mills is like not having it, but Somerset's just like, look, man, I don't give a shit what you've been through. You ain't been through it in the city. I done seen everything. I'm not worried about that, dude. And one thing Morgan Freeman definitely needs to do, he needs to stop jerking off Brad Pitt.
Yeah, too many of those scenes.
Yeah, no. Do y'all remember this shit? Brad Pitt, legitimately, this always throws me off. Is like, 'cause since, fucking, I guess maybe it was a saying in the 90s, but Morgan Freeman, he always feels like he's giving him the runaround, and he's like, I'm just saying, man, stop jerking me off. That's all I'm saying. Stop jerking me off. And every time I hear that, I'm like, was that a saying? Like, it always takes me back, dude. And how about here? Go ahead.
The thing with Somerset is he's about to retire.
In 7 days.
Yeah, and he doesn't want this case. And then Mills is like, give it to me, fuck Somerset. But and then Somerset just
fucks him.
He fucks him and he takes the case. He's like, I can't retire right now. I gotta figure this out.
Exactly.
What a last case to figure out too.
Oh, dude, just killed it. I love the doctor scene too after the first death, where he's talking to him and he's kind of laying it out, and he's always like, and what I can't figure out is what this is. He's like, gun pressed the head. He's like, pressed hard enough, sure. And they're just kind of slowly breaking it down right before your eyes, and it's like, yeah, the motherfucker, and Brad Pitt's getting all close to it. It's just great.
What about the dinner scene, Rodney? I didn't like the dinner scene in Fury, but the one where Mill's wife invites Somerset over, and that whole dinner scene, I liked it in this movie. I think it worked a lot better than it did in Fury. And you find out that the subway comes by or whatever, and their whole house fucking shakes, and you see Somerset kind of take a jab and laugh, and they were all laughing at each other. I thought that was the first...
Added that levity.
The first bonding moment between Mills and Somerset, because they were kind of butting heads before then. I think that kind of
And
It
levels
definitely
stuff
opened up Somerset because he was just kind of like a hard ass at first until the dinner.
Yep.
And then the dinner, he kind of had no choice because he's polite. So,
yeah,
you
he's
know,
so polite.
Yeah, so I
it's
mean,
ridiculous
he's
how polite.
He's gonna,
he is.
open up a lot more in that scene. I think the dinner scene in this was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
do.
and the
I think-
laughing comes out of nowhere. You're kind of like, is this real right now? But then they're like, okay, I've never seen you laugh before. Let me join in.
That Subway was shaking the shit.
Dude,
Hey,
I'd
can
be
you
so
imagine?
pissed.
what would you do if you lived in a house
Dude,
like
they
that?
had to
Dude? You
hold
got like
their glasses
teacups and
down.
shit falling off the table, dude. Oh my
I'm
god.
good on that.
Oh my.
This
Oh
shit's
my
great.
God.
What about the cinematography of this film, though?
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely stunning.
It's amazing for this kind of film.
Camera movements and everything, like the angles that they take, and then every Fincher film has like a dark tint to
Mhm,
it. So
definitely.
like, it's like that realistic, like
Yeah, one of the
this is
best
underbelly.
directors.
Yeah.
100%. Dude.
So I like how because it fit the what this
Vibe.
movie is about, like the way he filmed it or the cinematographer filmed it was just absolutely perfect.
It complements it perfectly. One thing that always stuck with me, because there's so many lines in this movie, this is one of them, which I've heard this before. I'm not sure if it came from this movie, but the thing for like rape victims, like don't yell rape, always yell fire. That always fucked with me because I even remember being like, this is the first place I heard it. I was a really young kid and I was like, is that real? And even at that young age, I could break down my head. I was like, I could see how people be like, I want no part of that, as fucked up as that is. But fire, I could legitimately see everybody wants to see a fire. They want to see what happened. They want to rape. That's dirty. I don't even want to. I didn't hear it. They pretend they didn't hear it. It's crazy to think about, but it's something to fucking think about. That's insane when you really break it down. But human nature, dude.
Yeah.
As you can see in this movie, I know it's fictional, but we do some crazy fucking shit. That's
By
for
the way,
sure.
the plot of this movie alone is amazing. The
Yeah.
fact that they're doing a movie on a serial killer that did the 7 deadly sins, I think was original, and I think it took a lot of thought to do something like this to make it as good as he did. So
Definitely.
mad props to Fincher for that.
Mm-hmm.
So-
And the again with the slow build, dude. When you move on to the second one, dude, when they go visit the wife or whatever.
Like 7-2. What?
No, I wish, but then again, I don't. It's kind of
No,
better as a
that'd be
one-off.
awful. No.
But hey, Brad Pitt's in jail. It should never happen. There's actually 8 deadly sins. I read up on it. I've had a lot of time in the joint. Wouldn't that be so like, here we go. Somerset comes out of retirement. Yeah, but anyways, they go visit the wife of the guy that got murdered or whatever.
Eli Gould.
And then, when she's like, hang on, though, this painting, or like it's turned upside down. I love that, the slow build of that. And even like where Somerset's pulling off the wall and you have, Mills like, he's just fucking with it. That's what he's doing. He's fucking. But Somerset's still there like, it has to be something. Like that kind of shit
Yeah,
just
'cause-
gets me
Because
every
I
time.
initially thought there's going to be something right behind the painting, spelled out on the wall or something, or on the back of the painting, and there was nothing. And they kind of built it to it. And then they find the initial fingerprint, but then they pull away, and you're like, there's something else. And they take a while to show you
Yeah.
that he spelled "help me" with the dude's fingerprints. And I like the slow build to the even more than just a fingerprint.
Yes, 100%, dude. And I love it was so rewarding when like Mills kind of took a step aside and they kind of had Somerset the other way, and he kind of was when they did like they blurred it up or whatever the fuck you call that shit where you could actually see it, and he kind of sits there. He's like, be honest with me. Have you ever seen anything like this before in your life? And now knowing what the character of Somerset has been through without telling you, but it's pretty fucking clear. It's painted all over his face. He wants out. There's little subtle details of that. You're like, okay, if this is the craziest shit he's been through and this is only the beginning, like this is some shit right here. And that really set the tone even more.
Oh, hello.
I think someone's coming in the door.
Yeah, and then the fingerprints that they find, that leads them to a victor. So the cops, they're getting ready to go raid this dude's house, and it was Somerset. He's like, this isn't the dude. Like, something's off. Like,
Yeah.
he had that gut feeling or whatever that he wasn't the actual guy that they were looking for, which as a viewer, I kind of knew that too because
Yeah.
of the way "help me" was spelled out and everything. But
Yeah, doesn't fit our guy's MO.
yeah. But then, they go and raid this dude's house, and he's what you think is dead in the bed, laying there.
Mm-hmm.
And they find the pictures, and they've been taking one picture every day for like a year. So you're like,
It's a good day.
my
this
Years
dude's
God.
been, this dude's been dead for like
Yeah.
a year. And then the one cop gets close to his face.
And he even makes that comment, dude. He's just like, oh, fuck, dude, where was I going with that? You finish your statement. I'll come back to it.
Yeah, he gets close to his face, and I'm backing up from the screen because I know something's about to happen, and the dude fucking like, yeah, he's like, oh shit, dude, it scared the. I knew it was coming, and it still scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, dude, that's one of the best pop out scenes I think in any movie ever, dude. Because that's one of those scenes like when I watch that shit and I know somebody hasn't seen it, I'm just waiting for it. Like
you're watching their reaction.
Yeah, 2 out of every 4 don't do shit, but the other 2 are just like, all right, dead body, nothing to worry. Oh my god, like you can see it on their face, and then the use of the air fresheners and all that shit
throughout the house.
The music that was playing when they were raiding Somerset's just like, oh, they love this. Like the build with that was fucking amazing too.
And then sloth was written above his bed, which is another one of the deadly sins. So up to this point, that's 3. We saw greed, gluttony, and sloth. So we figured out that pattern, the 7 deadly sins, and we're waiting for the next 4.
And again, the doctor scene, dude, was perfection. Everything that fucking doctor said was amazing. They're kind of like, so is he like gonna live or whatever? And they're like, I don't know if he could live if you shine a light in his eyes right now. And then he's like, that man's been about through the worst torture you could ever have, and he still has hell to look forward to. And when he said that shit, I was like, oh my god, dude. Just the whole way that doctor laid that out, those lines were just fucking chilling. Perfection, dude. But what about Tracy, hitting up no, not Morgan. Oh, okay. Tracy hitting up old Somerset. Was there any part of you, because I always wonder this when people watch it the first time, you're just like, is she about to... Is this...
That's what I thought.
What? No. I wonder if Somerset was even thinking that, like...
I think he was.
I'm not the biggest fan of that scene.
Really?
Just mainly...
I like it.
Like, a little breakfast house or whatever.
Yeah, like I get...
I love
her
it,
wanting
actually.
him
I take it back. I love it.
It would have been different for me if she was like literally getting him there to like kind of get to know him. But the way she was like kind of like lightweight put moves on him and shit, I didn't like how they did that. And then
I don't think she's
they
put
don't, like,
moves on
expand
him.
upon it like at all the rest of the movie. Like it's just like.
I mean, you know why she was there with him,
I took
right?
that scene for them
about
the baby.
Pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah, being pregnant.
That was the whole point of that scene to me, was so that the
Sets
end
up
of the
later.
movie, it's a bigger punch.
So
to the
he
gut
knows
type
and Brad Pitt doesn't know.
thing.
Yeah.
He knew before the dad.
But then on top of that, like maybe there was that little lingering, like let's fuck with the viewers a little bit. Maybe think like, could this actually be happening right now? And then them actually meeting up. Once you hear it, you're like, okay, this actually does make sense. She's scared. She's in a vulnerable place.
In a city she hates.
She's never been pregnant before. That guy is charming and might throw him off, but she don't want to just say it out loud, as weird as it is. And then when she gets there, and then we get some more great fucking lines, like what fucking Morgan Freeman Somerset says about his kid, where he's like, I pushed her until she broke, talking about how he was almost married once. And he's like, now there's not, like, I made the right choice. I know that, but there's not a day that goes by where I don't think about it. And that, like, the whole scene, and then her breaking down, she actually, like, sold me on her being upset in that moment, too. So, overall, that's the lunch scene. We've talked about dinner scenes.
What about the whole Mills chasing John Doe?
That shit was crazy.
That is one of my favorite chase scenes. I like how legitimately he's just kind of chill about it, too, at first. And they're kind of like, because they go through that whole thing with the library. That was fucking cool,
Yeah,
how they tied that in.
I like how they got there, because it was Somerset, the straight edge by the books guy, that was like, hey, the FBI kind of has this secret database where they keep track of books that are checked out at the library. So he was the one kind of doing the illegal thing there.
He's like,
when
it's
he's
not
been
important.
this straight by the books guy this whole time, and that's how they end up finding John Doe's actual apartment.
Yeah, and it's so rewarding to get a scene like that there, because everything's been more like slow paced. You're not expecting it. So when those first gunshots kind of come out of nowhere, it's like, oh shit, it hits you more. You haven't had anything like that before. So when you have that build up and you're just waiting, sounds like you're waiting to burst, but you're waiting to overload, dude. You're just waiting for that release where you're like, damn, dude, like, can we get some, oh shit. It makes it all the more special, man. And to this day, when I watch that scene, I obviously know what happens, but there's a sense that Brad Pitt can die right there. You can feel it, the way the music's picking up. Somerset, the smart one. Mills, like, I'm going to get my guy no matter what case, like, it takes. Like, no matter what it takes, he's going to go after it. And Somerset, you can hear it in his voice. He knows it. He's like, Mills, no. And he's chasing after them right behind him because he knows this could be bad. And he knows this isn't just a psychopath, which we'll get into a little more. He's a calculated, cold-blooded killer. So he's going to be smart about it. And that going in, no cover type of style that fits Mills perfectly, you were wondering, especially in a dark-ass movie like this, you're like, is Somerset going to have to take the rest of this case alone at the end of the movie? And it gets me, dude. And when Mills ends up in that little alleyway, and of course he gets hit in the head, I love the shot. Of course, it's pouring down again, dude. The shot of you see John Doe, but you don't see his face, obviously. He's got the hat and the whole get-up on, and you have that reflection from the puddle right next to Mills, and it shows him, like, towering over him. And then you have that moment where, you know, Somerset's like, Mills, and he's like, no, and then he, like, goes away. And dude, it's a magical scene for sure.
Well, the way
Great
they
chase
shot
and
the gun to his head with the rain hitting the gun and like
music.
ripping off slow motion, it was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Stunning.
the music too in that scene, the way it keeps building, and he's like stopping. Like, I'm like, Mills, back up. Like, I feel that every time. Like, dude, he's gonna tag you. You keep running like this. It just wasn't going to happen. And then, dude, Pitt, when he comes back up and kicks in the door, dude, that shit actually cracks me the fuck up, dude. Where he's just like,
Somerset's
no.
like,
Yeah. He's like, we can't go. He's like, but how? Like, why are we here? That's what you're not understanding. We can't just go in there. And he's like, you're right. I'm all fucked up, the whole thing. And he just boots the door open. He's just like, well, no point in arguing anymore unless you can fix that.
Yeah,
It's just-
then they pay the druggie to lie
perfection.
about it.
Yeah.
Which
So
was
it-
smart.
Yeah, that was a smart move on Mills. He was like, you got any money left? After they paid to get the library card scene.
Yeah, and just seeing the killer's room, what was inside, was amazing.
Very
and then,
suspenseful the whole time they're searching
Yeah.
his apartment.
and what about the fact them finding out it was the cameraman?
Dude,
He was
yeah,
right
that's-
there.
in the
That was
stairwell.
such a good
Mills
reveal.
ran him off, and he shouldn't have, but he did.
Yeah, and even Somerset, like, they pay good money. And it's just like, I'm sorry, man. I'm going through a lot right now. But he was right fucking there, dude. And then this kind of ties into this, what I was just talking about briefly, is the fact that you know at this point now that this dude is a cunning, calculated genius. He's not like the dude masturbating in a corner like Mills was saying to like some heavy metal music. He was like, he's probably doing this shit, dressed in chicken feather. He's not that guy. What Somerset said, like, not exactly. He could be something else. And this was proving it. Him fucking calling where Mills is like, phone, phone, phone. They got to find the phone.
Yeah.
And then he's calling. He's like, I admire you. And that it's just like, oh, dude, this dude is a fucking genius. We're not dealing with the psychopath, as he says later, that like if that makes you more comfortable to be able to call me that. I am this person that is a genius and can outsmart you, and I love outsmarting you. I'm getting off in doing so.
Yeah, the shit's crazy.
Well said.
This shit's crazy.
Shit is wild in
I
this
This
show.
shit's
forgot
crazy.
what you said for a second, but it was the phone call. Like
Yeah.
the fact that he did just call him to admire him, like
Yeah.
that's
It was
so bad.
it was almost him toying with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
I
exactly
It's like
what
the
it was.
Zodiac killer, dude. He's
Yeah.
calling into the cops. He's starting to get off on it even more. And what about the notebooks, dude? They found the notebook, 2,000 notebooks, dude. Somerset says even with 50 men
would
working 24-hour shifts, it would still take 2 months. And then he reads that passage that he read. He's talking about the guy on the subway. He's like, I tried to be
Yeah.
polite, but I couldn't help myself. Like, I
threw up on him.
it's- Are you kidding me right now, dude?
And yeah, like
It's
the
just
notebooks
filled.
weren't necessarily anything important. It was just a dude writing like
Yeah.
every day what happened, just pouring his everyday actions onto a piece of paper.
Yeah, like what
So he had
Somerset said.
hundreds of them.
Dude, my God, dude. And then we can move on to the guy at the club. That shit fucked me up. And I've seen the actor in a few things, but the way he acted that shit out after the club, even in the club, when he's like, get this fucking thing off of me. And you're looking at it like, what the fuck is that? Like, again, toying with your mind, not really knowing what you're in for yet. And then they separate them. Of course, it was done right. Mills taking on, the more calm guy. Somerset, you know, the guy can be chill with the guy and not go over the top, kind of try to understand him, be more relaxed. And hearing him, dude, break down where he's like, his lips quivering. He's like, what about the girl? And the guy even has that look like, the girl? He's like, yeah, what happened to the girl? And next thing you know, he's like, he put the gun to my head and he made me fuck her. That whole scene was like,
very intense.
and he's just like, oh my God, please God. And you're just like, I don't even know if I was like, what do I even do here? Like, you're fucking fucked up. I'm assuming she's murdered after getting attacked like that by that thing.
Yeah, and
but
so
what do you
crazy.
do? The guns too. He's like, yeah, the gun. Like that was so well acted, dude.
and the whole way when they gave the
Chilling.
picture to the dude at the sex shop or whatever, and he was like, he had me make that. They did a good job again of being suspenseful and not showing you what was on the picture. They left it to your imagination for a little bit. And the dude working there was like, I've made stuff crazier than that before. So you're like, what is this picture? What's going on?
Oh, you found out.
And then you see it's like basically a strap on with a fucking blade. And that the dude had to fuck the girl, the prostitute or whatever, with that on. You're just
Holy
like, oh
shit.
my God.
Could you
It's like
imagine?
a 10-inch blade or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
just
holy
had
fuck.
to ram.
I know what a 10-inch blade feels like.
He does. Let me tell
Between
you.
my legs, not up my ass.
Dude.
Backfired a little bit
Something
there.
about where that ends, dude. Again, I love shit like this where you see like the done look on their faces. But there's a beautiful shot of Somerset in his respective room sitting there like on the table, just kind of like lost looking. And then it kind of comes over, slowly pans over to Brad Pitt in his respective interviewing room, and he's sitting there too, just looking lost. It just paints that picture of like, are we going to get this guy? What is this? He's toying with us, and we can't seem to catch up right now at all. And it just paints that picture perfectly.
And then, yeah, that murder had lust spelled on the door. So there's another one of the deadly sins. So that would be up to 4 at this point. You're like, okay, 3 more to go. Where are they coming in at?
Yeah, what about the very end of this movie?
Hold up.
Oh,
We're not there yet.
Okay. Well, what about the pride killing?
What about Somerset calling out Mills on his bullshit, saying at the bar, like, no, I'm not going to give in. I don't believe that this world is just done. I believe that we have to fight for something. To see that flip the other way, and you're like, oh, I actually agree with Mills for a change. I thought that was nice. That's one thing I feel like I had to cover.
And that, again, was just another point in this movie showing that Mills and Somerset are complete opposites.
Yeah.
Like, the way they attack every situation, Mills chasing John Doe and Somerset calmly walking downstairs asking residents, where's the back door? Like, the whole movie, they're showing they're black and white. They're complete
They're definitely
I
black
didn't-
and white. I swear you said that. I was like, I think I know how you meant that,
I
but
didn't mean it that way, but
yeah,
You know what I mean? They're complete opposites from each other.
Yeah,
And
they're
that
black and
was
white.
another, I think, deep scene with a lot of dialogue that meant a lot, just showing they are complete opposites.
Yeah, but what you were saying, that was next on my notes anyways, dude.
Oh,
the-
the pride
not the
killing?
Not the
Oh,
end.
okay, I was going, whoa, hold up.
Person. We're not skipping that
yeah,
far.
we got
Yeah, the girl.
yep, it was a girl.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Tyler's
What
just
was
kind of
it?
meh on this movie.
yeah, what was it? I can't even explain it.
Well,
I
Pride
mean,
was
he,
written.
she had the
I'll
chance
let
to
you try to
live.
explain it, yeah.
You're gonna let me try and explain
Well,
this?
you said, what is it? And you were like, and I was
Yeah.
going to throw you a bone, but then
Throw
I was
me a
like,
bone real quick.
Throw you a
the-
bone?
The nose.
Yeah, he cuts off her nose.
He basically call for help, be disfigured, or here,
Die.
put yourself out of your own misery. Had
She
pills in the
couldn't-
other hand.
She couldn't live being ugly.
Yeah.
Her appearance was more important than her life.
That's exactly how
Yeah.
I was gonna say it. but-
one hand phone, one hand kill yourself.
Which,
Use the damn
ridiculous.
phone. You can get surgery on your face, can't you?
but I think that's the whole.
It's the
point.
early '90s.
Like, she didn't want to live. Like, the fact
didn't
that
wanna
she
be
didn't want to go
ugly.
through that. Pride. That's why Pride was written.
Dude,
on the door.
swallow your pride like she did them
Those
pills.
That's the point. She's picked specifically because he knew that she couldn't,
Yeah.
and plus her face is her pride and joy. You know, she's not thinking, "Oh, it'll all be better." Plastic surgery ain't no given.
Okay. And
Okay.
then
You going to one of my favorite scenes?
where he's John Jacob
Joe.
Jingleheimer. When John Doe is in the
Walks into the police.
And
Dude.
what's he say?
he says, detective.
So he said it twice
Amazing.
calmly.
Detective.
Yeah, I was like, they didn't hear him. They didn't hear him.
Yeah, they're just
And then
carrying
he
on. He's right
screams.
there.
He's
I was
covered
like,
in
"Oh."
blood. He screams it. He's like, they're going to take me in, and this is exactly what I want to happen.
It's
Yes, that was-
That
fucking
I'll
moment
remember
was
that.
so chill because, like you said, when he said it quietly, you're like, oh, and then it's like
They
didn't
never
hear
really
him?
had him fully on screen either. You
No.
could see him in the corner, like following them, because they were like hiding his
Mm-hmm.
face. They didn't want to show you who it was yet, but you knew. And then he screams, and you're like, I kind of got a little chills there. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
Kevin
there he
Spacey at
is.
his
And then-
best at
oh,
killing
he-
it.
And that
Killed
was
it.
the
So
twist. I wonder if people in like the 90s, they heard it was a twist and they saw it and they're like, that's the twist. The killer's Kevin Spacey. That's just a part of it. Like, that's a part of, like, that gets overshadowed because of how great what to come that we're about to
You're
talk.
looking for me.
Yeah, but like that, and in general, the fact that the killer ends up being a huge actor like that is also just like, wow. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Kevin Spacey's the killer? I did not see that coming. I mean, to hide him from like the cover and all that, not being top billed,
They've-
like that, amazing.
And then they're interrogating him. They find out that he cuts his fingertips off so he
Yes.
doesn't leave any.
Fingerprints. That's why they couldn't
fingerprints,
find anything.
The slow
genius.
build.
And
Yeah.
did you all
Amazing.
notice that in the opening credits they show him cutting off his fingertips with razor blades?
Mm-hmm.
That's something in the
Jeez.
opening scenes that they show.
What
I
a
didn't notice that.
What a
go home and rewatch
psycho
it.
slash
Just the opening
genius.
credits, he cuts off his
He's-
fingertips in the.
Dude, John Doe in this movie is a brilliant,
Okay.
definitely one of the most brilliant killers in any movie.
I
And-
like just how calm and collected John Doe. This is whenever they're in the back of the. All right, I won't go to that part. I want to talk about whenever they're when they're talking to his lawyer, and his lawyer is like, he's going to plead insanity unless you all do this. And Somerset's just by him saying blackmailing us, and that'd be dismissible in court. But I forgot what happens after that. But then they agree to go find the two more bodies, which will be Wrath and Envy.
Mhm.
So they agree to go find these two bodies and they don't even know if there is two bodies.
They're just
You don't know
Taking
with
a
John
leap of
Doe.
faith.
Yeah, but whenever they're in the car on their way there, just how
Masterful.
creepy and calm. He talks like a genius, but a psycho, crazy genius.
But he almost makes sense.
He does.
The stuff he says is like chilling because you're just like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can get behind what he's saying.
He also
kinda.
has like a smirk the whole time.
It's
too.
very unsettling because he knows what's about to
Oh
happen.
yeah.
And he knows it's gonna.
When Brad Pitt would talk, he would say, "What did he say?" He's like,
You're in for
"Let's
a
get there so that I can see what this surprise is."
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, and
like,
Brad
"Oh,
Pitt's
you
just
will."
like you're like cut out, like you're a fucking flavor of the week. Like he's just like, but you haven't seen it yet. When I'm done with what I'm done with, people will remember me for years. He's just saying, he's like, I really can't wait for you to see it. And he's
Yeah,
like
that's
saying
what
different
it is,
shit
yeah.
like
He's
that.
like, you don't know it
Yeah,
yet,
that-
but you're gonna be famous.
Yeah, and you'll live
Right.
on. And he's talking about then fucking what he's talking about being like a savior or something from Christ or whatever the fuck. And Morgan Freeman, Somerset's character, he's over there like, I don't doubt you believe that, John. The way he says it, he's like, but I think you're not paying attention to the glaring contradiction. He's like, meaning what exactly? And he's like, you're killing all these people. You're committing sin. He's like, no. He's like, and then Brad Pitt, of course, coming on strong, just like, oh, all these, don't you just kill innocent people? He's like, innocent?
Oh, he got mad.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's just like, are you
The
kidding me?
innocent speech was
Yeah,
flawless.
and when he come and he caps it on that, like, only in a world this fucked up could that be innocent. And it's just like, you're like,
Yeah,
gotta
he went
say,
through like each person he killed.
I gotta say, he's got a point. I'm not saying they deserve to die, but he's got something there, man. And
John Doe basically.
it's like a 10-minute conversation,
It was
but I could
so masterful.
I could
The
listen to
dialogue
it.
Was fantastic, and I love how it was really John Doe and Mills going back and forth. But Somerset came in a couple times, but every time he did, it was something impactful, and you're like, "Damn, okay, I did."
Yeah, sometimes it's
it had
better
meaning.
to listen than to say shit. He was just kind of soaking it in.
Yep, because they kept cutting back to his they showed him multiple times, and he didn't say anything. You
Yeah,
could just
and
hear he was listening,
yeah,
processing everything.
Because the key way you could tell he was listening is he wasn't just driving. He would do this. you'd see him look in the mirror. He'd look in the mirror and kind of do this. So you knew he was engaged. He was focused on what's going on. And I think knowing Somerset, he maybe even had a couple times he probably wanted to jump in and stop Mills. But at this point, it's kind of just like, this is who Mills is. I know there's nothing I can do about this. It's nothing too over the top. We're almost at the end of this. Let him have his moment. Let's get there. And then, of course,
they finally
we
get
get
to their
there.
destination.
Yep.
And they're walking out in the field, and then I think Somerset noticed a van coming down that long road.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, you have no
this
idea
is
what's gonna
this
happen.
is set up. Like that's what I was thinking. Like
You just know
he's
it's
got
something
guys.
big, but you don't know what.
So Mills stays with John Doe, which John Doe knew that would happen, and that Somerset would be the one to go stop the van or whatever. And it was a delivery guy, and he's like, I got a package for Mills. And you're like, what?
Well,
What
also,
is
you
this?
think he's just
What
gonna
does this
slam
mean?
into
The car,
the car
yeah.
whenever he's driving up
He
on
got
him
right
too,
up
so
on it.
fast.
And yeah, he had a package for Mills, and you're like,
Dude, that car was going so fast.
Dude,
He had
it
to be
was-
there
really
right on
was.
time.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was like
did
2
say-
minutes late.
He said 7 o'clock right after he said, like, he was like, what you got there? Like a dead dog. Like, that wasn't me. So, yeah, it had to be at 7.
and then Somerset, the helicopter that was following him is like, calling bomb squad.
Yeah.
Somerset's like, fuck it, I'm gonna open
The
it.
way he says it, too, he's like, oh, I don't know. And he's kind of like looking
Dude,
around.
would you open it though?
No.
No.
That's a tough
You,
choice.
you absolutely would not in a real life situation.
Maybe you
'Cause if-
kick it once. and
If
see
that is a bomb, you're dead if you open it.
yeah. Well,
You
I
would
mean,
back away.
well,
I think
Far
s-
away.
I mean, this ain't a great excuse, but maybe Somerset is just fucking done with life. I think it's more movie
It's ready.
magic,
It
but if
is,
you wanted to take
100%.
it away from movie magic, you could almost justify it being Somerset. He's throwing knives into a wall. He's done with life. He's ready to move on. He's ready
Somerset-
to retire. He probably wouldn't even give a fuck if he blew up. He'd be like, good
Somerset
enough.
probably thought like, there's no way John Doe would send a bomb as his last
Yeah,
kill.
it's not his MO.
But
you
then-
could do
Yeah,
that
he
too.
opens it and he sees the blood on the little flap.
Did the little, the little noise.
Then he
makes.
sees it,
Dude,
sees
the
what's
face
in
he
it.
makes.
He's got the upper hand.
Yeah, John Doe's got the upper hand. I hear that every time, dude.
And then he yells.
Sprinting.
He yells to
Put your
Mills,
gun down.
and Mills says the classic, "What's in the bag? What's in the bag?"
Oh,
Hello.
We're supposed to be watching you.
Hi.
Aria.
That's a
then
joke.
kinda-
That's a joke. He doesn't really say what's in the bag.
Just grab her.
He says,
What do you mean? No?
"What's in the box?"
You're not on
It-
camera.
You're good.
You're
Grab
good.
Don't hit anything.
Special delay here, folks.
her. What?
Yeah.
We pay a babysitter and she
Yeah.
didn't do her job.
You gotta
Mil-
be kidding me.
Mills is just.
Anyways,
yelling,
what's in the bag?
What? No, he actually yells, "What's in the box?" which is a famous movie line that people repeat every Christmas.
Oh my god! And the music kicks in like a motherfucker. It's like dun dun.
And then after he says "What's in the box" like 3 times, he kind of figures it out. He's like,
Yeah, he's
"I know what's in the
cracking.
box."
Well, he's also John Doe's like just got done telling him like what's in the box.
Yeah.
You know, he's like,
Yeah.
I took a special souvenir, and you
Yeah.
know, and it's
And
Man, I
it's
told
'cause
you
he-
I admired
he
you.
was like,
was envious.
Her pretty head.
yes.
And you figure out
Dun dun.
She was
that
like-
her death was envy, and you're like, okay, there's the other.
Yeah.
The 6th one, you're like, one more to go, and then you figure out Mills has the choice to either kill him and become Wrath or not and let him go to jail. And John Doe's plan works out perfectly.
Oh
He
my
gets
god.
murdered.
It is one of the
Shoots
most
him.
back and forth scenes I've ever watched on a movie.
And
When Brad Pitt
Somerset
is
trying to talk him
decide
down.
whether or not to kill him, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's
You
going
would
to do it,
have
and then he
to.
doesn't do it.
You
It's
kill
like,
him,
oh,
he
he's like-
wins. And
Yeah.
what I think what really sets him over the edge, he's going back and forth, and he's just like talking about the kid, and he's like, "Oh, he
Yep.
didn't know," because even
yeah.
Somerset's like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
Well, also, I think what played into him killing him was in the cop car, John Doe told him, like, I'm the reason you're alive, because he brought up where he had the gun to his head.
Yeah.
He's like, every time you take a breath, think about me, because I'm the reason you're still alive. And I think him playing with him there psychologically, which he planned to do in the cop car, I think that was part of his plan to get into Mill's head for this scene. I think that, but if you took my wife's head, I'm shooting.
There's 100%
no-
sure.
Yeah, I was about to
There's
ask.
no-
She's like
would y'all
buried
kill
under the
them?
ground, digs up some
100%.
dirt, just like, it's a joke, honey. What are you doing?
I would have shot him like multiple, like in the kneecap.
Yeah, I
the
would
foot.
shot
Well, he
him
does them like three. He
But
goes like
killed him
boom.
first. I would have
boom,
shot
boom.
him in the knees and make him feel
Yeah,
it, and
dude.
then work my way up. Let
I
him
would have
suffer for a
tortured
bit.
him as long as I could. And
I
then
agree,
kill him.
but I think it's if he would have done that in the movie,
Well, yeah,
it
for
wouldn't
movie,
have
it wouldn't
worked
have-
out.
I
as
would
well.
have
I
buried
agree.
him
There's
where
so
his
much
head
more.
was sticking out of the ground and ran a lawnmower over him.
Just take
And
an
then shit
axe,
in his
take it
mouth.
right through it. I mean,
If I had
that's
to.
one strategy.
If I had
for
to
sure.
take a
Amber
shit.
Heard approach.
I mean,
We'll talk about
in the
it.
end, dude, what a fucked up masterpiece it was.
Could have been
for
better, could have
John
been
Dick. There's no better than that.
Yes,
Like
definitely
you would have
masterful.
talked 7 deadly sins for them to cap it in that way, and there's no need for any explanations after that. Just a great epilogue from Somerset saying like Ernest Hemingway once wrote, "The world is a fine place and worth fighting for," and he's just like, "I agree with the second part," and then it just ends.
I like how they left it open at the end.
Yeah,
too.
beautiful, beautiful, perfect ending.
So-
All you needed.
What's your all score?
Here we go.
Yeah, Tyler.
I gave it a 7.7.
You serious?
7.7 for 7.
Ruining my
Yep,
life.
7.7.
7.7.
Dude,
That's
it's a
not-
good movie, but it wasn't just for me personally. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would.
It wasn't made in the year
Your
2010 or newer,
expectations
so-
were way too
Don't
high.
give me that shit. No, it's just I don't know. I mean, it's a good movie. It's just for me, and a 7.7 is a great movie
Yeah,
on my
it's a good movie.
rankings.
Yeah.
So I give it a 9.3.
Really,
Yeah,
Greatness.
It's fantastic.
Amazing.
Rodney?
I give 7 a 9.0.
9.0. Some
Mm.
high scores.
And I come
Topping it off
in
with the cherry.
with the 10 out of fucking 10, dude.
Perfection.
One of my all-time favorites. Whenever we get to this top 50 shit, you'll see where it's at. But yeah.
can I tell them it's that number?
Woo! Don't do that. Man, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's between
Alright.
1 and 50.
Yeah.
Tyler, you want to plug the Instagram?
Oh shit, yeah.
I do that.
Yeah, Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at official Box Office Banner. Follow us on YouTube at Box Office Banner. We got 29 subscribers. We're trying to get to 29 million. So help us out there.
Working on it.
Brandon with the Facebook.
Okay, and then join us on Facebook at Box Office Banner Movies. 2 O's in there where the M and the O meet. That's 3 O's, whatever. Caps for movies. Check it out. We're growing strong. We're giving away shit. Just had the 500 giveaway thing go on. That was amazing.
Keep inviting people. We're trying to get
Do
to
it.
1,000.
It's
We got a
amazing.
big giveaway at 1,000.
100%. Love you guys.
See you next episode.
Watch 7.
We have a Facebook page too.
I said that. Spotify.